Hello, Internet, and welcome to episode 4 of the ProduceCast. This is a Produce 48 podcast that now comes with 100% more salt. especially after the last couple rankings. Damn right. Well, maybe not as much for this one, but
I was gonna say I was happier overall with this one. There's one very upset thing, but we'll get there later.
We'll get there. All right. So for those that are new, we are covering episodes 9 through 11 of Produce 48. So if you haven't watched the previous 8 episodes, I don't know what you're doing here. Please go watch our first couple episodes as well. If you want to keep up to date with us, we've obviously have one more episode to go because of the finale. So please subscribe if you want to keep up to date with that. We're available on all these listening services as well if you want to listen to it as a podcast and not see our pretty faces. We're available on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Stitcher. And before we get into it, I should introduce my co-host today. So he is known as the IOI Master, and his name is Nathan Swisher.
Rumor, gossip.
Oh,
Rollin, flat shoes, freaky heart.
that's all you could pull. Oh man. Okay. Normally we'd also be joined by Jacob Burrett, but he's kind of busy with a little thing called college right now. So right now,
who's busy 3 days into the college year? Like, I don't understand.
Apparently, if you go to Clarkson. So so he's just getting swamped with work, so he's kind of just going to be off the show. Well, hopefully we can get him back for the finale, but yeah, he's just super busy because just school starting again, and not only that, this is his last semester before he goes to study abroad in Korea, so shit's like really crazy right now, so he'll be back, I promise. And my name is Andrew Lee. My name is actually on the overlay this time, and I don't have to edit it in every single time. And I have one major thing. So, very recently, as of, I don't know, a week or so ago, is when, a week or so ago filming this, is when AKB48 filmed their 53rd, the music video for their 53rd single, Sentimental Train, Sans Jurina. So you should look into the music video. They did pretty cool things with sort of making allusions to Jurina not being there. Also, like the cover of the album, like it's empty. Usually, because how they do it is they have like a bunch of different versions with like different members or whatever. So you'd pick whichever member you want the cover of or which B-side you want. And so like the main like A version is empty just because they know, like, I guess it'd be rude for anyone to just take the cover away from her like that. So I'm a crazy person, and also because AKB are like the whole system where basically each different version gets you a different B-side is just ridiculous. So I bought two of the goddamn same album. But I mean, I wanted to get.
I guess I can't shake my head because I've done that for every iOS.
Yeah. It says the person that bought 3 different Daya albums. So, you really don't have it.
Uju Sonyo, Wiki Miki.
So, I mean, if you're interested, because they always release coupling songs or B-sides as we know them better. The B-side that I was most interested in, and the reason why I wanted to get a specific version, is because Goto Moe, who's on Produce 48, is actually the center of Hito no Tatsu Deki no Deki Goto. So yeah, she ended up being the center for that B-side. I believe she was a part of Upcoming Girls, and then I believe just like the one below it, or the one below Senbatsu, was the single Sandal ja Deki Naikoi, which has so many people. It has Kojimako, it has Iwatate Saho, it has Miru. So I had to get I had to get the cover version of that one easily. So yeah, if you're interested, I think like Bai, it's like a forwarding service. They have like a specific shop for AKB48. So if you're interested in that, definitely look into it. All right, I guess with that being said, all the formalities are out of the way. Let's start the show. So, 30 left.
Well, yeah, for a little bit.
Well, I mean, it was 30, and maybe we weren't entirely happy with the 30 that we were left with. If you watched the previous episode, we were very angry.
I wasn't angry with the 30 we were left with. I was just angry at the ordering of them.
Yeah,
for the most part.
I mean, there were some people that like I was very pissed at getting out. So, but you can watch the previous episode if you want to see like our more detailed thoughts into that. So, they did that weird thing where they sort of started the like concept evaluation like before everyone was eliminated. So we ended up with a bunch of teams that had like uneven members, and apparently the cutoff was 5 members for each. So you ended up with I Wish had like 7 members, Rollin Rollin had 6, I Am had 6, Rumor had 6, See You Again had 4, and 1000% had 1. It was just Miho.
Poor Miho.
I felt so like how honestly, just like from a mental standpoint, like imagine how hard that is. Like literally everyone in your team got eliminated, and everyone else that's coming in is basically has to learn it in like and has to learn it in half the time. It was crazy. So yeah, so they had to all the other groups that had less surplus had to narrow down their members, and like it was really important because again, like remember, you get 130k benefit applied evenly to the group, so to speak. So I'll just go quickly through like how everyone was eliminated. So again, I Wish / Torichu, the subs kept changing the freaking like name of the song. I think it was Torichu though properly.
Yeah, Torichu.
So yeah, 2 people needed to be kicked, and it ended up they kicked Sakura and Nako. Oh no, Sakura and Minju.
Huh. Yeah.
And I'm sorry. Like Torichi was a good song, but like even if she didn't do that, well, who in their right mind would kick like the center of Pick Me out of a song? Like you already like just because like she has name recognition alone that she'd bring votes or she'd bring votes in. Yeah. We'll get to that later. So that was kind of an interesting choice for them to kick her.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really remember the reasoning, but
like she did. She was
the smartest thing, probably.
She was having trouble with high notes or whatever. But I mean, the thing is that you put her on something that she can do, because you like having like one of the most like high profile like trainees in the entire show again is just this huge boon, and yeah, it ended up costing them. And Minju unfortunately got kicked. So if a lot of you might be wondering why like Sakura and Nako and Midu and a bunch of the Japanese trainees were absent, again, I don't know exactly how it lined up, but I'm pretty sure they were busy in Japan and they weren't able to like be like in the beginning part. And like honestly, not a lot of them got screen time, at least for the practice parts of it, because a lot of the high profile trainees they were busy. They were busy filming the music videos for 53rd single. I'm pretty sure. So that's why they were busy back in Japan. And I can't imagine having to like prepare for this and prepare for like the song that you're like doing for whether you made like Senbatsu or whether you like Undergirls or that sort of thing. So yeah, again, they had a lot on their plate.
Yeah.
Rumor had to kick one person, which was Shitao Miyu. I Am had to kick one person, which was Cheon, and I think she took it the worst because
definitely.
Oh man, I feel like Cheon was kind of like her arc throughout like this series of episodes was like the most important one, at least to me.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Well, she definitely gained the most because, like we were saying last episode, she just didn't really have any presence or confidence or anything, so she just wasn't getting shown at all. But she got shown so much in the past, like this set of episodes, and once we get to rankings, it obviously helped.
Yeah, definitely. And also because like she was really worried that she getting kicked out, she'd be like, oh, like I'm gonna have to do like a cutesy like a cute concept or like something that's like I didn't want to necessarily do. And then she was talking about like how a lot of like comments were saying like, oh, she didn't fit very no move a lot, and she's worried that like she took it the hardest, definitely. Rollin Rollin had to kick one person, and it unfortunately ended up being Gotomoe. Because she was the lowest ranked, so it just naturally came to that. And then so how it ended up was there was only one spot left in See You Again. So basically, yeah, it was one, and the one person they picked was Sakura, who wasn't even like physically there, so it was like super.
Yeah, I know, it was awkward.
Yeah, it was super rough on like Moe and Cheon and Miyu and Minju because they're just like, damn.
They're all standing there like, yeah, they get one of them gets picked.
Yeah, none of them get picked.
The one that's not there.
Yeah, and so all of them end up going to 1000%, which again was super hard on like on Miho, because like again she was like she had to basically teach everyone like what to do. So okay, so we'll just go through how we normally go through it. So we'll do it by song, and then we'll do like the filler stuff, and then we'll do eliminations. Like even though it's not necessarily in the order, it's just the easiest order to go through. So evaluation, or like the actual performance day, they did it at a different. They always do like the concept of evaluation at a bigger venue than like the other ones.
Yeah.
The other ones are usually at like the CJ studios, but this one's like a bigger event because they want like more votes. So obviously some eliminated trainees always come back, and then the on-site voting rules were you vote for the best team, and then you also like do a second vote for the best person regardless of team. So that was an interesting like caveat to like how they distributed the votes. So we'll start off with 1000%, or what's how do you say 1000 in Korean?
I think it's chun%.
Chun%?
Yeah.
So yeah, 1000% by.
I could be blanking.
1000% by Summer Wish. That was the name of their group, and it was produced by Oreo. For those that aren't familiar with the name, you'll know Oreo better as being part of Iggy and Youngbae, the people that give like G-Friend like half their songs. Okay, so 1000%'s roster was Chan was the leader and main vocal. Shitao Miyu was a sub-vocal, Kim Minju was the center and sub-vocal, Miyazaki Miho was a sub-vocal, and Goto Moe was a sub-vocal. I guess like the storyline for this was, one, they're mostly rejects, and two, this is like Minju's first time as center. So like, what did you think of that whole like giving her center?
I thought I was fine with it. I don't really know who else it really would have gone to other than like Miho, because she was the only one who actually knew the song.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It didn't really bother me that much.
Yeah, I mean, I think this song, it didn't bother me necessarily just because it probably fit her concept like the best. Like even though she didn't necessarily get picked for this first, she probably works for it the best, because she's kind of like the definition of like the shy, cute, innocent girl, which it kind of this song is perfectly about. So and also just like another sort of storyline that they sort of addressed was like Chan was an amazing leader in this, and again she basically felt like the entire like weight of the world on her shoulders, because she was teaching them the choreography. She was like doing all of this, like making sure like they understood everything. And like after a while, like she her voice, like during the rehearsal, her voice was like cracking and like she was like breaking down. Like even Baeyoon and Jung was crying. This is like, oh, we know you're good. Yeah. We know that we don't have to criticize you at all because you're always stable. So like they were just shocked that she was just like feeling this. And
yeah, there was just a lot of pressure getting to her.
Yeah, and I mean, I kind of feel her position, because I'm always definitely the type of person that even if it's like a group sort of thing, I'm just like, okay, I want to be in control of like 110% of like everything, and like you sort of like hard carry it, but after a while it becomes super grating, and yeah, you could tell it was taking like a serious toll on her. As for the actual performance, what were your thoughts on it?
I thought it was good. I liked the song. I thought Chan did really well with the lead vocals. It's definitely not my favorite of the songs. I don't know. I felt like all the songs this year were really good.
Just in general.
Really, that's what I mean. Just in general, like all 6 of the performances were really good.
Oh no, and I mean just like not even like even the other like performances. There was rarely anything that was like garbage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I guess like with my thoughts, wow, the outfits are perfect.
Oh yeah.
Like the whole like again vibe of the song, it's like this like again kind of like it's kind of like this almost like G-Friend Apex song, like no surprise because it's freaking like one half of Iggy and Youngbae. It like straight up, it sounds like Love Whisper, like that, like eerily sounds like Love Whisper to me. So I mean, that's probably a conscious decision considering how popular Love Whisper was as for the group battle evaluation. Also, I think just in general, a lot of these concept evaluations were pretty good at like everyone got decent like time, like screen time, so to speak. Like nobody, like the center just didn't hog up like 90% of like the camera, so to speak. Chaeyeon and Miho were just incredible vocally. Like again, I'm really happy with Chaeyeon because again she's not really known as a vocalist, but she hits that high note very well. I mean, yeah, it wasn't necessarily my favorite. I had some issues with it. Like, I'd say, like, I don't know, maybe the choreography was cute, but obviously it wasn't anything too interesting. And I again, Minju, like, I applaud her for, like, she's my girl, she's my llama girl. I applaud her for taking, like, having, like, the courage to, like, finally, like, step up and be center, but I'd say she kind of got overshadowed to some degree.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because, again, it's just really hard because there's a lot of like charismatic people on this team. Like you have like you have Miu, you have Moe, you have Chaeyeon again, who just an eye catcher all the time. So yeah, definitely. Again, it wasn't perfect, but I did still enjoy it.
Yep.
Next performance was To Reach You by the group was called Memory Fabricators. I don't know why they picked these random ass names.
I think it's like I don't know. I think that was just a weird translation. It's like Memory Creator or something like that. Just like they're creating memories. Speaking
of weird names, the producer's name is literally Kamen Rider, like the Japanese, like that's like the sibling to Power Rangers. So that's an awesome producer name.
That's pretty funny.
Members were Junggyuri was the leader and the sub vocal, Nako was the sub vocal, Chaewon was the center and sub vocal, Yuri was the sub / getting the high note. We'll get to that later. Later. As if they didn't talk about it enough on Produce 48. And Nagoen was the main vocal because of course. So yeah, again, the main storyline of this was literally like they just kept repeating like Yuri versus Gohan, Yuri versus Gohan, Yuri versus. I'm just like,
well, they kept showing up on the same team.
That's true. It's just like, how many times are you gonna repeat the same goddamn storyline over?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, because when they were going, like, they were like, okay, so yeah, Gohan was the main, and then when they got into the recording, they're like, she had trouble hitting the high note, so basically they did a thing, just another interesting sort of thing where some of the producers, they do like I call this the JYP method, where basically everyone would record every line, and then after that they'd be like, okay, you're more suited for this, you're more suited for yeah. So it's an interesting way to sort of despite having picked parts already, it's an interesting way of producing as well. But I think it's for the better because again, you get sort of these interesting situations where they split certain parts like that. So yeah, thoughts on the performance?
Yeah, I thought this was really good. I thought this song fit everyone really well.
Oh, definitely.
I'm really really big fan of Yuri, and I was glad that she got more screen time. Yeah, because she's one of the best singers.
And she barely got any in like the last set of episodes. So.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I was happy about that. I think Nako Aegyo knocked Miyu off my #1 Japanese trainee list.
Oh no!
Nako is adorable.
Oh, I think the thing I love about Nako, she's so fucking short. She's so goddamn
5'11".
Yeah, and no, like, you mean 4'11", not 5. If she was 5'11", she'd be taller. Oh my god,
4'11". That's what I meant.
Nako-san, jeez.
But no, yeah, just like the Aegyo she did at the end or whatever, it was just like, just stole my heart.
And
so
no, her speaking Korean is like the most adorable thing ever. Like you think like I mean, don't get me wrong, like Korea and K-pop have no shortage of their like they belong in anime like level like Aegyo, but like Nako I think is just like giving everyone a run for their money right now.
Yeah.
So for me, obviously, like I'm a sucker for anything New Jack Swing, and despite like usually this type of girl group song is kind of like boring to me, but man, I love this a lot. Like it's probably like my second or third favorite of the songs.
Yeah.
Again, everyone fits it so perfectly. The person I guess sort of particularly fell in love with the most is Chaewon. Like she fits this song so for like Chaewon kind of reminds me of a more innocent looking Chang'a, which is really like she's almost a doppelganger to some degree. Like it's really interesting. Like basically like Chang'a's like, oh, she's known for being like super sexy and like she's does all this like girl crush type of stuff, but like Chaewon, like she fits, she's so at home in this type of song. So I'm really glad.
Yeah.
Despite the I guess the huge deal that they made about like the high note and everything and like who was gonna get it. I mean, I think both Goon and Yuri did well. And I just think that they were talking about how the high note, this note was an F sharp, which is like a half step higher than the note that Yeonjung hit all the way back in season 1. And I guess they're trying to sell it on like, oh, if you hit this high note, you're gonna make top 12. But I mean, who knows at this point? But again, just the vocal talent on here was incredible. It's probably like it's funny because like there's a lot of New Jack Swing songs that have come out this year just because it's trending, but this is probably the cutest New Jack Swing song I've ever heard. It's nothing like Lady or like I don't know, just like a bunch or like anything that like Triple H has done. It's really funny.
Yeah, it's nothing like that stuff.
Again, despite like Yuri and Goon just always being pitted against each other, they have such good synergy with each other. And I mean, it's obvious considering they just keep getting paired up over and over and over and over again. But I really liked them as like a main vocal pair.
Yeah, they work well together for sure.
It's like they'd be like they'd be awesome in a group together, honestly. Like they'd carry a group so easily. Next up, this is like the most like bittersweet song for me, honestly, I have to say. Next up is I Am by the group 1AM, produced by Full Bloom. Full Bloom is one of my favorite like producers of the year so far. They've just been producing hit after hit after hit after hit. So I was just super excited for this group or this song, honestly. The group consisted of An Yujin was the center and the sub vocal leader / rapper was Ikan. Yoonjin, Kirin-chan, who is Jacob's favorite. She's joining us again today in the left corner. She was the main vocal. Choyena was a sub vocal, and Takashi Juri was another sub vocal. So, the storyline of this, I'd say, is so they originally gave Ikan the center role.
Yeah, but
throughout the like the rehearsals and the practice and like the recording of the song, everyone was saying Kan was too sexy. Therefore, she willingly gives up the center position to An Yujin, which was shocking. And again, I feel like, I don't know if I've said this before, but I kind of feel like Gan's way too humble for her own good, which is why I feel like, again, I feel like a lot of people are sort of just like, oh, what has she done? Because I feel like she's always just been like deferring like the more important stuff to other people.
Yeah.
I don't know. Obviously, you being a An Yujin stan, you're probably okay with her being in the center.
Yeah, it's hard for Gan though, like when the producers of the song tell you that like the other person fits it better, like it's hard to just be like, no, I want to keep it. But yeah, I don't think she really needs it. But yeah, it would have been nice to have her like keep it. But yeah, obviously I'm a fan of Yoonjin, so like I was happy with her. I think she fits the song well. But yeah, it would have been cool for Gan to actually have a more center role.
Like when I watched this, I was incensed during like hearing the teachers like say all of it. Like honestly, hearing the teacher say that Gan was doing the song wrong and she was too, that might be like some of the stupidest criticism I've ever heard in all of Produce like 101 and 48. Like, cause I don't know, maybe I'm not saying I'm better than like the teachers, and I'm not saying I'm better than Full Bloom, but I feel like the read of their song was completely off. Just like
I felt the exact same way actually.
Because like how they were like when you hear this song, what part of I can understand the cutie sexy part like to some degree, but it comes off way more sexy to me.
Yeah, exactly. Same.
And like I was just so incensed when I heard this because I'm just like, you want someone like Gon who's literally been doing sexy songs since after school, like to be like the center of this. Like it felt like a song that was kind of tailor made for her, and for them to just sort of like, I guess, like sort of pressure her to like give up the role in that sort of way. It made me mad. Like honestly, I'll go so far as to say like An Yu-jin had no business being the center of the song. I'm sorry, but
I think she did if you look at it as what the producers wanted for the song.
Yeah, the producers wanted.
But I agree with you that I felt like even their read of their own song was just weird.
And I mean, maybe they kind of. Oh, go ahead.
Good. I was gonna say, just like every time they talked about like how it should be cuter, I'm like, the song doesn't sound cute at all. Like, what are you talking about?
Especially when you sort of take into, I guess we're just sneaking into the performance or whatever. Especially when you can take into consideration like how much sass and like how much so much bravado comes out of like everyone, like not just performance wise, but like the vocals. Like if like the person I really loved in this was Yenna. Like Choi Yenna's like her vocals really were incredible in this, and like they made no complaint about like, oh Choi Yenna, you're sounding way too sassy or too sexy. I'm just like, what the. It just really like confused the hell out of me as to why
it was weird.
They were leaning, and who knows? I don't know. Again, like I don't know if it's just like Knet netizens or just like Reddit or Discord or whatever, but basically there's just been, we've mentioned it before, it's called Whisper. It's sort of just like this huge, I don't know if it's conspiracy necessarily, but basically everyone from Pledis and Weha and oh god, I forget the third one, Starship get a lot of screen time. So I think there's just a lot of people that are like sort of like, there are a lot of people that are angry with An Yu-jin for just sort of like stealing, and Choi Yenna and all the and pretty much everyone in this group, honestly, they're angry with a lot of them for stealing the spotlight or like getting a lot of attention. So I don't know, again, maybe some people might think this might be the conspiracy where they kind of like An Yu-jin, so like they're running commercials for An Yu-jin during the middle of Produce 48, which isn't. Has that ever happened before where they run where somebody pays for commercials to run during the show for a trainee? Like I can't think.
I'm not sure.
Like how much money do these people have to run commercials? Yeah. Jesus Christ. So yeah, I guess just. Did you enjoy the performance still? Like just like
I like the song a lot. I thought the performance was good. I don't really have too much to say overall, but I did like it.
Yeah, I mean, again, I love this song. I love Full Bloom, but it's the weird because it's one of my favorite songs, but it might be one of the worst performances just because, again, like if you're the center, I feel like you just have to be like. It's not just like vocally, but you just have to be like the most captivating in all aspects, both in choreography, visuals, singing, and it's another situation where I kind of feel like Minju, where I kind of feel like An Yu-jin just got overshadowed by everyone, to be completely honest, because again, Yenna had just amazing flair to her performance. Even Judy, again, Takashi Judy's kind of like happy-go-lucky, but again, this sort of song kind of fits like her personal taste when it comes to K-pop. Gan's just very hard to overshadow just because she's a veteran presence, and again, when I'd go so far as to say pretty much no other person that was in all of Produce 48 probably has the same sort of stage presence and charisma that she has, again, because nobody has the experience that she has, where she's been performing for basically like years on end at this point. So yeah, again, it's just an unfortunate situation, and even vocally, I could barely sort of pick out her notes because I kind of felt like the vocal performance from everyone else was kind of strong too. So again, I love An Yu-jin, I love her to death, but man, Yeah, I don't know. It just really soured me how this whole situation went down. So it kind of ruined the whole performance and song for me, unfortunately. And I don't know. And also, just Takahashi Juri just needed more love because she barely got any like attention at all in the song. And again, she's definitely becoming one of my favorites. I probably don't like her as much as like Aubrey does. Where Aubrey wants to buy her Gravier books and everything, but still. Next up, we have Rollin Rollin by the group Love Potion, which was produced by Wonder Kid and Shin Kyung. The members were Na-young was the leader and the main vocalist. Honda Hitomi was the sub-vocalist. Jang Wan-young, who got #1 in the last ranking, was the center and sub-vocal. Shiruma Miru was a sub-vocal, and Kim Doa was like a sub and a rapper at sometimes, I believe. So
yeah, she was a rapper.
All right, so the notes for this one, I'd say, I guess it's just, or the biggest criticism they had with this is just they couldn't like, this is like kind of a high energy song, and like with the choreography and like I feel like the most important part of the song is like with a song called Rollin' Rollin' is like the body rolls, and they had a tough time getting that. And also I guess they were really rough on Jang Wan-young for being the center. Like they felt like she was kind of like, every time she was like up in the middle, she was kind of like killing the song to some degree. So yeah, there was a lot of like I guess animosity and struggle in this group. Also, yeah, and just I guess the like vocally as well. So yeah, with performance, did you enjoy this one as well?
Yeah. This should probably be my favorite song. It's not. I do like this. Like, this is probably my second favorite song. Yeah, it's just like so fun and like just catchy.
Did it remind you of like any particular group in general? Because I want to hear your thoughts on like who it reminded you of before I say mine.
I guess I didn't really think of it that way. No, I don't know. I can't really think of a group. Once you say yours, I'll probably agree. But
early Red Velvet.
Yeah, it was very like happiness.
Yeah, just like
style.
That whole style, basically like the Red Album to some degree, like just like that sort of vibe.
Ice cream cake and
except like everyone on here has just such cuter voices, because like you have Won-young who's like a baby, Hitomi who sounds like a baby. Yeah, you just have like a lot of like cuter sounding voices to this, and then you have Doa who just has a lot of swag, even though she's in like the cute
I was gonna say, Doa's so good at rapping. I
mean I was
counteracted the rest of the song.
Yeah,
which
it's
good.
so funny. It's so funny.
It was good though.
Yeah, because she was in Did It Do last time, I believe. So she just like channels that swag.
She really impressed me there.
Yeah, she won me over definitely with this performance as well. Yeah, it's another one. I'd probably put this at like #2, mostly because I love again like the choreography for this was just well done, where they had. Well, not just like the body roll thing, but they had like the part where they could like do like they could ad lib, and then they just do like the funny ass moves, and then Miru's doing like this thing, like the move from Warata People. It's just so I love that they're able to like just like inject a bit of their own personality into it again, which is kind of rare considering like most, if not all, choreography is just in K-pop just like given to you, and you're just like, okay, do this now. So
there's very few like freestyle, do whatever you want, have fun moments.
Oh man, and basically like the performance was great. Their outfits are oh my god, Miru. Oh, don't do this to me ever again. It's kind of funny. Again, Miru is just like loves doing like, or she kind of excels in sexy concepts, and she got like put into like one of the cutest songs like of all 6, and she did so well. She did so well. I love the versatility that she brings to it. Again, Hitomi, like I was sort of like I guess Hitomi was probably like the only one that I was like, okay, why are you in top 12? But I completely understand now. I completely understand.
She's really talented.
Yeah, I completely understand why she's in. She again, another person that just fits this song to the T. There's like. I was kind of iffy on Won-young as well, but I feel like she made huge strides, especially considering like how much she was criticized during like the practice and everything. Just like she's the perfect center for, because like the way she says "would you" is just like so perfect for this song. It's just it's iconic where you could it's memorable, and that's exactly what you wanted. So yeah, choreo wise, this is easily one of my favorites as well. So, and just like song wise, easily one of my favorites. I was super happy after listening to this. It's just like a really like upbeat, happy song, and they did such a good like job of like conveying that.
I think this is actually my favorite choreo. It's not my favorite song, it's my second favorite song, but it's definitely my favorite choreo.
My favorite song and favorite choreo are the one and the same.
Both,
we'll get to that. And just like sort of like a cute interlude was like they had some eliminated trainees like Go Yujin and Sonan Che and Chiba Eri and Sato Minami were there, and there's like they started playing music because I guess like it was in the middle of a break, and then like Yujin like started dancing, and then they started doing like Nekoya, and then Eri and Minami did like their infamous or famous performance of Boombaya. So it's cool that they got, and obviously of course friggin' Minami has to be there. Minami has to be there because she has to support her mom. Hyewon. The next song after that, which I have to say, just like right out the bat, like easily my favorite, might be my most favorite. Again, I've only watched 2 seasons, but might be my most favorite concept evaluation song in all of Produce 48 Produce history is Rumor.
It might be my favorite too.
Wow,
In the Same Place is really, really good, but
okay, that's the thing. I'm not as familiar with season 1, so again, I'm basing this off of season 2 and Produce 48. But I mean, if you would put it over season 1, I'll believe you.
Like, season 1 songs are good, but there was just like the quality just wasn't as good because it was season 1. I feel like
because whereas now they're attracting like huge names when it comes to like the producers. Where basically it feels like you get a lot of like as a producer you get a lot of exposure and name recognition if you produce a song for Produce 48.
Yeah. Whereas season 1 they didn't really have that, so like the song quality just I feel like wasn't as good. I like the songs a lot. But I think Rumor is better than all of them. The only one is In the Same Place, which it was composed by Jin Young from B1A4, who's insanely good.
Okay.
Because that was the first of his trilogy. Like that, and When Cherry Blossoms Fade. Yeah,
I know he's kind of like iconic or just like legendary when it comes to like everything with Produce. But like in terms of songs, like Rumor, I'd put over Never. And I'd go so far as to say this was the Never of this season. So I'll just keep going with like the intro. So Rumor by HINP, which stands for Hot Issue of National Producers. Choan, Cube. I wonder how that happened. It was produced by Eden. It's just again a familiar name. I need to look up their work again because I feel like I heard them again, and I must because if this is like a tropical house Moombahton like reggaeton type song, I've definitely heard of their work before. So, members. Shihyun was the center and rapper. Kwon Eun-bi was the leader / main vocal. Kwon Eun-bi is always the leader just because Kwon Eun-bi is like the default leader besides like Chaeyeon or like
basically
like gone at this point because like she's like again she's just like the mom to all the Woollim trainees basically. So she won me over like so much like in recent episodes because again she was one that I was kind of like iffy on, but top 12 wouldn't be top 12 without her at this point, honestly. Isian is a sub-vocal. Murase Sae is a sub-vocal, and Choan was the rapper. Okay, so the storyline for this was... Oh my god, they played like freaking like part roulette where basically everyone just kept changing parts over and over. Like at one point like Eun-bi was main vocal, and then like I think like I don't know, like somebody else was center, and then Choan was main vocal, and like Choan was sub vocal, and then they just did like a huge sort of thing. So how that ended up happening, they picked one way, I believe, and then it just so happened when they recorded with Eden, like for the official recording, it turned out that Choan is actually a good rapper, like surprisingly. That's like that. Like, like they called it like a reverse of a reverse of a reverse of a reverse because she just has so many. She's just like all these hidden talents.
She comes out. She can't dance at all when she's from Cube and she looks all charismatic, so everyone expected her to be like hardcore dancer. And then it turns out she's just like insanely good at singing like ballads and stuff. And then it turns out she can just rap really well too.
Yeah, and the funny thing is during the during the practice and everything, she's like, "Oh, this is more my style of song." I'm just like, "Are you kidding me? You're telling me you don't do ballad type track?" I mean, like, not like you'd ever get a chance to do ballad tracks at Cube because they're allergic to anything that's not. They're allergic to anything. At least with girl group music, they're allergic to anything that doesn't make you a Hyuna clone, basically.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I was speculating this a bit earlier with Aubrey, our friend. Like, I kind of feel like, I don't know. I kind of feel like Cube sort of positioned her wrong. But I mean, we have a lot of issues with Cube, but I feel like, again, I don't know how John So-yeon was sort of positioned in season 1, but I feel like with Choan, they're like, okay, we're known as Cube. What is Cube famous for? Hyuna. So let's send someone. Let's try to like sort of sell them on, okay, this is the next Hyuna, and Choan isn't the next Hyuna. Honest, like. And and to some degree, that's like a compliment because I'd probably say her vocal chops are probably better than Hyuna's. So, like, yeah, I think she just started off on the wrong foot completely. And I mean, hey, it worked in her favor, where she just ended up going from like 40 something to 13th or like to 9th or something like that. So, like, she was able to showcase her talents again. So it's really good that she's just like. Again, it's really definitely helping. She's peaking at the right time, basically, where like she's getting all this exposure. So, again, besides those antics, they were able to like nail down the parts and everything. Choan ended up being like, switching with Eunbi for the rapper position because again, Eunbi was like, "Oh, I never rapped before," and then Choan, again, coming from Cube, which makes their name on a lot of rappers, basically. So, and there was another thing where basically, like, it's funny how like visually she's so different from, I guess, her talent base, where everyone's like, oh, she, or after her performance, everyone was calling her the next Yoon Ray, and obviously you being a Yoon Ray fanboy, it's like, could you see that as well?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go that far because Yoon Ray like literally brought female rapping to Korea, but yeah, like I could see what they're trying to go for because she is such a good singer and can sing ballads really well, but then can also rap really well, which isn't really something a lot of people can say other than Yoon Ray.
Yeah, because again, when I first heard Yoon Ray, I was like, wow, she has a beautiful voice. I did not know that she rapped at all. And then when I heard, like, it's same sort of like reversal where you're just like, wow, like she's very multi-talented. And then I guess another like big point for this group was Shihyun was the center, but they kind of were just like, oh, I can't really remember Shihyun, like, or just again, it's another situation where all the group members are very charismatic. You have the person that you have Choan, who won in the vocal and rap section in the last evaluation, and then you have Murase Sai, who won in the dance section for the last evaluation as well. So you have Kwon B, you have a lot of people that are just very like noticeable, and I guess just going into the performance, I get like. They all did great, but yeah, I could see like Shihyun definitely kind of got a bit overshadowed, unfortunately, just because all I could focus on was just like Sae and Eunbi and Choan and like, yeah. So what were your thoughts on this song?
Yeah, well, and she was also trying to do the song like like not sexy.
Oh, she was trying to do it like Go Yujin. She was trying to do it like Go Yujin.
Yeah, like Go Yujin. I can remember.
That's I still think it's a travesty. I still insist it's a travesty. She did not get to do this song, and maybe in retrospect, she would probably like fulfill the center position better than Shihyun did. But I mean that's hindsight 2020.
Yeah, but yeah, so Shihyun was trying to like replicate her because she got so many compliments when they were doing their practice, but like she eventually had to realize like she can't do it that way. She needs to like do it her own way.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And like she did really well once she realized that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like I said, this is easily my favorite. This is my favorite performance in all of Produce. It surpasses Never, and again, just like they did this song in particular is where I feel like even though we're kind of like saying like Shihyun kind of got outshined a bit, like I feel like everyone did so well, and like Seon again, just like super underrated, and wow, did she fit this song so well. Oh my god! Like, again, some people had sort of issues with Chowan's rap because she was kind of screaming in the live performance. But if you watch the M countdown and listen to the actual recording, she does a bit better job. I guess it's just like when you're doing like, obviously when you're recording like the live, when you're recording the live version, it's she's probably just like super hyped and super like energetic. And if you go to see like actual like concerts where there's rapping, like you end up hearing like a lot of people like that just because they get so caught up in the moment.
Yep.
And it didn't take me too long to realize why I like this song so much. It's basically a G-Idol song. When you really think about it, it's
it really is.
It's their version of La Ta Ta, and like that's a perfect song to pick like at this point, considering like how popular G-Idol is getting. And again, like I said, I was sold on Eunbi just like on her leadership skills, but her vocal performance in this was just incredible. Again, just like her hitting those notes were just amazing. And again, I'm very strict when it comes to girl group choreography. Usually I'm just like not impressed by it. I don't know, just because I have really high expectations. But this might be one of my favorite girl group choreographies of the year. It's like in general, like because young God, what's his name?
I never remember his name.
Oh God.
I'm really bad at remembering that guy's name.
Oh my God.
He's like the only trainer I don't know.
I think it's Youngjun.
Choi Youngjun.
Just hats off to him. Just the way he choreographed this was so perfect. Again, we kind of had problems with like, oh, you can't be too sexy in I Am, and you have to like, oh, you had to kind of make it cutie and sexy. Or this was perfectly choreographed and perfectly set up where they were powerful when they had powerful choreography when they needed it, and they had sexy choreography when they needed it. It's just a masterclass in just like showcasing their talents. And I'm glad, again, hearing a song like this, hearing any type of like Latin or like Caribbean inspired song, it's so easy, just like, oh, 100% full, like 100% speed, just like go all sexy. But they did such a good job of, again, like knowing when to utilize that sexiness, and just like the core. Yeah. Like the choreography of the chorus is just like burned into my brain at this point, just because it's so good and so iconic. Oh man, like I honestly, I haven't been able, like literally, it's so hard. It was so hard for me to continue watching the rest of the episode, because all I wanted to do just like put Rumor on repeat over and over and over and over and over and over again. And like all throughout work today, I just listened to Rumor like on repeat. And I might get shot for this because we're on the card cast, but I think I might like this Rumor better than this song called Rumor better than the Cards song called Rumor. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Like,
I mean,
they're both like,
it's a really good song. So
yeah, again, they're both sort of like tropical type songs, but I feel like just this one just blew me away. And again, I was kind of shocked that this blew me away, because again, if you listen to the Daebak cast, I'm often the one that gets super bored of tropical house sounding songs, the easiest. But again, maybe it's just sort of that the song reminding me of G-Idol, and I'm just super high on G-Idol as of late, or at least La Ta Ta as of late, so maybe that's just what resonated with me. And I'm not the only one, because this has 4 million views on YouTube, so it's pretty, like nothing's even close to that at this point. Like the next highest was like maybe like 2 million or so. Like, even the M Countdown performance has almost 1 million views, which is unheard of unless you're like, I don't know, like BTS or Twice or something like that. So again, it seems like it seems like it resonated with a lot of people.
Yeah, actually, the countdown views are pretty high, because Rollin Rollin has 920.
Okay, yeah, it seems.
Rumor has 980, Rollin Rollin has 920, and I Am has 815. So like they're pretty high. The other two have about 7 and 6 each.
Yeah, but again, you have to take
almost a million.
You have to take into account that a lot of international fans watch a lot of these as well, so maybe that might skew. But exactly. It definitely seems like the consensus was, at least to my eyes, is that Rumor was like the best performance. Yeah, and like again, with Chowan, again, I love the rap. And basically, in this, she's basically channeling Jun Soyeon in this performance. I really think that. And again, not just her being like a Cube trainee and everything, but man, even if she doesn't make the group, I am so excited to see what they do with her. And by excited, I mean fucking nervous, because I know Cube is going to. Cube has just like.
Who knows what Cube does with anyone at this point.
Yeah, they just have like a penchant for fucking things up constantly. So, who knows? And to wrap up the songs performances, we have "See You Again," which is a cover of the Fast and Furious song by Charlie Puth.
Cover of the Taeyeon
and Wiz Khalifa
collaboration.
So yeah, "See You Again" by The Promise, produced by Lee Dae-wi. And I think that's awesome that he was able to do a song for them. Again, you wouldn't think like, oh wait a second, Dae-wi's doing a girl group song, but
yeah,
it worked. It worked.
Yeah,
Again,
it's a really good song.
Yeah, just that's just a testament to like his skill as a producer. Because if for those that didn't end up watching or don't remember from season 2, when he and the rest of like his like company, like when they did their like first evaluation, he produced the song. Like "Welcome to My Hollywood" was his production. So again, just like from the bat, right off the bat, you knew like he had a lot of talent.
Yeah.
All right. Members were Wang Yiran was the center and sub vocal, Park Hae-eun was the leader and main vocal, Takeuchi Miyu was the sub vocal, Hye-won was the sub vocal, and Sakura was the sub vocal / had like a bit of a rap part along with Hye-won.
Both Hye-won, yeah. I'll say both Hye-won and Sakura were rappers.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, the sort of, I guess the storyline with this was like, oh, who's gonna be the center? Is it gonna be Sakura? Is it gonna be Iran? Like with Dae-wi, because like I guess with the performance and everything, they were just like, oh, like they like the, I guess, like energy, or like they felt like the other person did it like better stylistically and everything. Mm-hmm. And you know what the funny thing is though? Technically, Sakura is Dae-wi's senior. If you think about it, because Sakura debuted in 2011. So
yeah,
and that's really funny how like just like a lot of the like AK the 48 group members actually like, or they're seniors to like some of the people that are even like giving them songs and everything, or just like some of the people visiting them. Like,
well, it's like
it's like she's the Sunbae for IOI. Like, that's really funny.
Well, I mean, Jurina was the senior to Soyuz, so like
Jurina, because Jurina is just like Jurina debuted as like a 12-year-old basically. So
yeah.
Dae-wi was the only one that wasn't able to attend the performance. All the other producers were able to, but obviously 101 having such a hectic and crazy schedule where they were doing a concert in Thailand, so he had to just leave them a message. And from what I know, they announced that IOI, some members of IOI, and all of 101 are going to be at the finale.
Wait,
and
they said only some?
Yeah, not everyone.
Bastards.
Not everyone. It's like last year again. All of 101's going to be there, and they have a concert in the Philippines the next day.
Yeah,
that'll
be fun.
That sucks. That really sucks for them. Anyway, so yeah.
Did they say which members? Now I'm curious.
No, they didn't say. They didn't.
Because I didn't actually read it.
But everyone was just like, "Yo, what?" Somi's actually finally gonna show her face after leaving JYP.
Yeah.
And again, like, and I was just like, imagine like the swerve that would happen if she's just like, I left JYP because I'm gonna join AKB48 or just something crazy like that. And also, did you hear about those rumors that apparently JYP is looking to pick up Japanese trainees from this? Not even joking. He's looking to pick up Japanese trainees from this show. Well, and I don't know how that's gonna work because I'm pretty sure they're under contract.
I mean, that's not surprising considering they're trying to make a Japanese girl group. So.
Yeah, they're making the Japanese girl group. I believe is the next. Actually, no, the Chinese boy group. I believe was the next thing, and then after.
Well, no, that's already out.
Oh wait, what?
Yeah, well, because they're like 13 or whatever. It's weird.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
they've actually been doing like pre-debut stuff for like a year. I looked up.
Okay, so they're like NCT Dream.
But they did do like debut stuff. But yeah, it's like all like 13-year-olds. But that's out. So after the new Korean girl group, so I think next year probably they want to do an actual Japanese girl group. So
imagine the biggest swerve is that Somi's actually a member of the Japanese girl group this whole time. Anyway, did the actual performance for "See You Again" thoughts?
I really like this one because I felt like all the members fit the song really well. Like all 5 of them did a really good job. I thought it was a well produced. Like it's generic's a negative word usually, but I'm not really using it negatively here. But it is that type of girl group like pop song that.
But it's kind of a song that you need to have.
Classic is probably a better way to say it.
Yeah, it's a classic style, and I mean, like again, it's something that you're gonna have in your repertoire if you're going to debut in this group.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, we're gonna get a Cherry Blossoms Fade type song, and I'm gonna fucking bawl my eyes out.
Yeah.
You know, if they just do their own version of Cherry Blossoms Fade, that's probably gonna ruin you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess with my thoughts again, it didn't necessarily end up being one of my favorites, but it was a very solid song. Haeyoon is just a god at singing, basically, just like all of her vocals are just.
She's really, really good.
Again, I can't wait to see what happens to her after this show. Definitely. Again, I'd say probably the only weak point was. One, the choreo was okay, but I mean it's a girl group song or like a sort of ballad-y type girl group song, so you're not gonna have much in the way of choreo, and the rapping is definitely the weak point. Sakura less. You can kind of give Sakura a pass because she's not used to rapping in like J-pop. And rapping in a different language and like doing something you're not used to compared to like what you do in HKT48 and AKB48, but man, like again, I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be mean, but what does she have? What is she shown within these last like 10, 11 episodes to sort of justify her high ranking? Nothing, honestly, and
nothing.
Maybe I don't know if
just
this is
visuals.
1, visuals, and 2, she's riding the hell out of this being the mom to Sato Minami like thing. She's riding that like as far as she can go. And I mean, hey, Kang Daniel did it. Again, we mentioned before, Kang Daniel did it last season and it sort of got him #1, but man, it's just like how many times has she gotten a rap position at this point and she just isn't doing it well. Like I don't know, they're just like again the reason like she was kind of like her and like Chiba Eddie were kind of like the reason I was really lukewarm on Team 2 of Boombaya because it just kind of felt too emotionless and monotone, and maybe that's what she has going for her, where she just kind of seems like, or she's just kind of like, oh, innocent, and she's just like that sort of thing, but it's just not interesting to me. It's just not interesting at all. And I get it. You need a visual, but I don't know. It definitely doesn't feel like she. I don't know. I wouldn't put her like in like top 4 or it's like top 5 even. Which is what she's been getting recently.
I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I wouldn't put her. She would have been eliminated a long time ago. So like,
I mean, I feel you on that, but I think I think just people just. It's the Sohye effect where people are just sort of attached to her because she kind of sucks and they want to see her do better, and she's really pretty. So that definitely is a contributing factor. But
it's just frustrating when you're seeing all these better people being eliminated. Like
a lot of trainees that could have done this rap portion way better than she did. Yeah. Because again, like even in like the recording, that didn't feel like there was much of like an improvement in like her flow. So she has a lot to work on. All right. Yeah. So final vote, or like the final vote. So the order of the groups in terms of like voting was number 6 was I Am, which again that was kind of shocking again considering how popular the trainees were. But again, my theory is because the whole Wispo thing sort of originated from Korea and it was like trending on Naver and like their like other social media and everything. So maybe it's just sort of the backlash against like Ueha, Starship, and Pledis. So number 5 was 1000%, which again was understandable because I didn't feel like their performance was the best. Number 4 was See You Again, and Sakura got a whopping 99 votes, which was again, I'm just like, you made a mistake. You fucked up by kicking her out because she got almost triple digits in voting alone. Number 3 was Rumor, which was complete nonsense.
Yeah.
That angered me a lot. But were you angry as well about it, or?
I wasn't angry. I was surprised. I thought it would be between Rollin Rollin and Rumor, for top 2.
Okay.
So I was surprised that it got 3rd, but I mean, I wasn't really angry.
Oh, I was mad. Again, don't get me wrong. Like Turichu and Rollin Rollin, which ended up going like 2-1, were like favorite songs of mine. It just felt like Rumor was on a completely different level when it came to everything else, and that's with me enjoying most of these songs.
Yeah, it's not Korea style as much though.
Yeah, I'd say that's sort of like, because if I remember correctly, if you can remember back to season 2, please correct me in the comments. I don't think Rumor won even in like their on-site evaluation. Never. Yeah, it never didn't win the on-site evaluations. Again, it's just like this style of music appeals way more to like international fans such as us. Whereas like something like Rollin Rollin, where it kind of got like a Red Velvet, like cutesy, almost Twice kind of vibe, is easily easily something that appeals to, or that's what Korea looks for in girl groups, because as evidenced by the popularity of groups like Red Velvet and Twice.
Yeah.
So yeah, Sakura got the individual benefit for getting 99 goddamn votes. Jesus Christ. Again, I'm still sort of, it's still pretty cool to see, again, we sort of had reservations about how much the Korean populace would accept the Japanese trainees, but there's a lot of like huge fanboys and fangirls of the Japanese trainees. And I don't know if you saw any of this, but like the certain like pack, I guess, like the certain like lobbying groups, for lack of better term, they have like all of these like crazy like prize packages if you vote, or like if you prove that you vote, like you can win like for, I don't know, like gun, or like, I don't know, like specific trainees, like even like Japanese trainees like Sakura, like you can win like a laptop or like a trip to like Japan and all this sort of stuff. Like there's a lot of money being thrown around here.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get to the eliminations, we'll just cover the filler material. They did they do the Whisper like problem solving room in season 1?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't remember that being a thing, but so basically it was kind of like I'd compare it to, it's like Catholic confession basically.
Yeah.
except Bora is giving you the confession.
It's the priest.
But I love that she came back, because I feel like
she's kind of fun. I mean, she is Sister Bora.
She is Sister Bora. You're right. But I feel like she's definitely one that's qualified enough to sort of give advice, considering just like how popular Sistar was and just like how long they were around. So that was pretty cool. I mean, some of them were funny, like Nako's like, oh, I want to be taller, but some of them were like really serious, like with Yena and Cheon talking about like, oh, they get a lot of bad comments and everything and all that sort of stuff. So it was really nice to see her just sort of be like a senior in their industry and just sort of give them the advice. And the nice thing is, like, at the end she gave them like this literally like a stack of cards of like all these like good comments and like saying like, oh, I vote for you every day, and like, I hope for your debut every day. And it's just like, it was really nice. And again, but specifically with Cheon, because I feel like she gets a lot of, I mentioned it before like last week, but it feels like she gets a lot of hate with just like her look. like she doesn't, I don't think she's sort of someone that appeals to like the Korean like sensibilities, at least visually. Like, yeah, like pretty much she has a big ass nose like I do. So that sort of thing. And yeah, I guess just when you compare it to like there's no shortage of visuals when it comes to Produce 40, and I guess it's just hard on her. And another thing that I really liked was during the sort of like practice for 1000%, like Soyu gave her really good advice too, where she like feel like, oh, she's like beating herself up and sort of just like not giving herself like confidence, where Soyu was like, you have to think of yourself as like, oh, I can do this, I'm pretty, like I can, you know, I can show myself to the world like this. And I feel like that was a huge turning point for Cheon, where at least in terms of like her mentality, where I feel like she started to see herself more in a more positive light.
Yeah, I think that was good. It definitely helped her self-esteem, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I'm surprised, like, again, like, or another person I'm happy is doing well is Cheon, because Cheon's a pretty big girl, and they usually like girls that are like really, really skinny, like almost doll-like in Korea. So I'm glad that she's still getting a good reception. After that was like makeup, and obviously they just do like funny makeup things. The best part is easily like the gym challenge sort of thing where they do like the
did some like variety show style stuff.
Like they're guessing, that sort of thing, which wasn't easily the elephant lipstick one is always the best, especially like compared to last season when it was like boys and they were doing the elephant lipstick thing. Well, obviously this is more normal, I guess, but it's still really funny where like some people like Sakura they just kept spinning, or Sakura just like took like really tiny steps so that she can go to like like draw it perfectly. It was really funny. I loved like the sort of challenges that they do. But the only thing is though, they were showing like in the teaser or in like for the next episode or like the elimination episode, they were showing, because remember like the punching bag game where like they'd see who had the highest score.
Yeah.
They had that in the teaser, but they didn't show it at all.
That's interesting.
Oh, that made me sad because like
they could still show it during breaks during the finale.
Maybe, but I was just like, oh man, like I want to see how they do the punching, like the strength challenge, because that's because you usually don't get that with like with female idols. So everything's out of the way now. Finally, we're at the main course, pretty much what everyone's wants to see us talk about, the rankings. So they're cutting down from 30 to 20 trainees. And obviously, at this point, it being like so low, we could probably just talk about everyone to some degree.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't have to skip too many people. Did any of the entrances like catch your eye? Because I have a few.
Not really. Other than was this where? Well, no. Okay, one of them did their dance from Rollin Rollin, and then Doa did hers in the. When she was at her seat.
Yeah.
She didn't do it as her entrance though.
Oh yeah. Some of the ones AKB48 still has enough members to spell out their entire group.
Yeah. That was funny when I saw that. I was like, oh wow, still have enough.
Miru and Shiruma Miru and Murase Sae both did like the Water the People dance. Freaking Hyewon. Okay, this is her only appealing part, is that she's a weeb. Because remember, she did like the Luffy thing. She's like,
oh yeah, she did. That's Nico, why she's Nikone.
Yeah, she did Nico. But the thing is though, like, she did the Nico Ni so bad.
Yeah, she did.
Maybe
it was so.
Yeah,
we're spoiled because of
like Momo and
Momo.
Like actual like Nico Yazawa. Well, like if you watch the original like thing, she's like Nico Ni, and then whereas like Hyewon's like Nico Ni. It's just like where's even in her
she had
entrance,
no feeling to it.
Yeah, and then friggin' oh my god, for Pledis, they Kaon and Kirin-chan, they both had like giraffe stickers on their forehead. Like when you saw them like before they entered, they were covering their forehead the entire time. It's like, oh, do they have a headache or something? And then when they come in, they just have giraffe stickers, which is really cute. All right. Rankings. So obviously number 20 is going to get left for last. So number 19, we have Kim Chae-won with 210,000 votes, went from 15th to 19th. Oh, easily deserving of her making it through. I love her. So she's probably not going to make it to the final group, but I still love her anyway.
Yeah, same.
Number 18, Stone Music's Jo Yori. She went from 16 to 18. Oh yeah,
she was in top. She was in top for the last elimination.
Yeah,
top
so 12. At this point, I don't think she's making it. I'm sorry, Jo Yori.
I don't think she is either. Unfortunately.
The thing is, though, what is Stone Music gonna do with her afterwards? Because, like,
they can't add her to
from his 10.
From us, yeah.
Yeah,
who knows?
It's weird. Like maybe
she could do solo stuff.
Maybe
ballads and
actually.
Stuff.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea because she's excellent. That'd probably be a better career path for her because she can probably get more famous doing ballad tracks, which they love in Korea.
Like OSTs and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, that's a great idea. That or we'll get in for the last episode. One thing I want us to do is I kind of want to have us pick our ideal IBI, JBJ, KBK, whatever it's going to be called, like who we think would end up in like the B group of eliminated trainees. So she might be on that list. Number 17.
Oh, definitely.
From AKB48, Takahashi Juri. Yeah, again, someone I really love, but I don't think is going to get into the group just because she's really straddling that elimination line. But
yeah,
Judy's definitely won me over as a fan. So just as a side note, like all the AKB48 trainees that are eliminated, I'm definitely going because as we mentioned, Jacob's gonna go study in Korea, abroad in Korea. And we're going to make a vacation out of it. Nate and I are going to go visit him for like a couple weeks. And part of our vacation is we're going to go to Tokyo. And we're going to try... Okay, so for the 48 group fans here, please, if there's any way you can help us out with this, we're going to sometime in April of 2019, we're going to try and go to attend AKB48 concert at the theater in Akihabara. And I know it's like like you have to like chop off an arm and a leg basically and offer it to like the J-pop gods in hopes that you get tickets, because there's only 250 seats. But if there's any way, like if there's an easy way for us to like get those tickets, please let me know, because I need to see all these trainees so bad, because they've won me over so much. So please, I need to see them so bad. Okay, number 16, where has Choi Yena, and she really dropped off. Like Yena was like top 12 like up until the last elimination, like almost like consistently, just because she has a lot of charisma. So I mean, that's probably why she sort of got the notability. But again, I feel like it's kind of like the backlash of Mnet just showing a lot of the Wispo trainees a lot. So I feel like that definitely ended up like backfiring, and this sort of the top 12 is sort of just like a response to like how Mnet's sort of just been cutting the shows, I believe. And I mean, would you want her in final group? Because I wouldn't mind her being in final group, obviously.
Yeah,
like,
I think she could fit. I don't know. I'd have to think really hard about who my ideal top 12 would be.
I mean, yeah, same, but like I wouldn't mind her being in it at all.
But yeah, I definitely wouldn't mind her being top 12 at all.
And yeah, I feel like she definitely
a lot more than K1.
Yeah, again, like with Yen, I can understand the backlash, but I don't think any of it's her fault. I feel like it's just Mnet's just sort of latched onto her as like she calls herself like a vitamin, like she has like a lot of energy or whatever. So she makes for good TV basically. So that's why she's just sort of been like all over the shows. Number 15, Urban Works, Kim Min-ju, my llama girl. Again, I think her bubble popped at this point.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Again, she was someone that I loved, but I was completely okay with not being in the top 12. But I appreciate her like sort of taking the initiative to just sort of take more of a leadership role. So I hope that for whatever happens to her afterwards, if she ends up being like a duo or like group with Krisha Chu or something like that, I hope she continues that. Number 14. Starships An Yujin, the first time she's ever the first time she's ever dropped out of top 12, which was
fuck you, Korea. What is wrong with you?
I can understand it though. Honestly, I can understand why. Again, one being the sort of backlash with Wispo. Two, again, just sort of there's a lot of trainees I feel like that could have sort of like leapfrog her in terms of talent and ability. Also, you have to take into consideration the fact that again she's 15, and
yeah, but John Wong.
Yeah, I know,
and she's like 12.
Yeah, which is funny, like how high she is. But again, it definitely is sort of like limiting to. By having younger members in top 12 or a final group, it's definitely limiting to like what you can do in terms of concept. So if Wonyoung makes it, I'm just like, oh, they can't do anything sexy. But I mean, I don't mind if Wonyoung makes it. But like, same with An Yujin though. I could see An Yujin still making it, especially.
Yeah, I think she still has a chance if her dropping out of top 12 gets her fans like off their asses.
Like, it's probably the perfect time for her to drop out of top 12 because obviously
I was gonna say
right before where basically everyone's just like oh shit we have to vote for her and like she's like do not be surprised if she ends up like top 3 in the finale because exactly. Like that always happens where people that are always on the cut line. And if you actually look at like at the end of some of the episodes they'd show at the end of episode 9 they showed the entire like ranking. At the end of episode 10 they only showed Hitomi they only showed Hitomi being like number 13. So you know that like everyone's like oh shit we have to vote for her. So there's always an effect when it's always better to be like on the cut line or just like be on the very edge because you'll see a surge in votes or like you'll see people that'll sort of like it'll activate the movement to like sort of to vote for you.
Yeah, especially when you were someone that like pretty much everyone thought was guaranteed the whole show.
Yeah, and again,
And
someone
then, like,
that,
if you get near the end, you start falling off. That really gets people.
And like, it's the perfect comparison to this is Daewee. Like, the same thing happened with Daewee. Was like, oh, like super high profile at the beginning. Obviously, she did like An Yujin didn't get center for Pick Me, but like with Daewee, like he just got a lot of backlash immediately, like after like being the center, and then he ended up again like he dropped out. He was almost out of top 12 like on the finale. So again, it's just. Yeah, there's sort of the backlash I feel is sort of similar when it comes to Yujin. Number 13 is Han Cho-won from Cube. She's in the bridesmaid spot, as I call it. Well, I mean, the bridesmaid spot in seasons 1 and 2 was number 12, but now being a 12-member group, 13 is the bridesmaid spot. So she dropped from 9th to 13th. She's another one that I could still see making the group, honestly, because again, she's just been really popular and she's been peaking at the right time, so don't be surprised if she ends up in the finals, especially if she's still in like the 13th spot, because if you haven't watched the Produce finale before, they always announce the person who's right on the cut line, and at the beginning of the show and right before, like when they do voting, like after they cut off like the voting, basically you just see them end up like 3rd or 4th or 5th, basically. Like Mnet knows what they're doing pretty much by announcing who was on the cut line. Like they did that in season 1, right? Where they announced who was like almost out, or
in season 1 during the final episode, they showed Chungha at 12th, which and then she got 4th. So because everyone was like, Chungha definitely needs to be in this group, so what the hell is going on? And a billion people voted for her, and she got 4th by the end of it.
Because again, when she gets to the finale, there's just like a lot of free agents or people that don't necessarily have a trainee anymore because it's cutting down to 20, or so they're like 90%, like or 70% of the time, like their bias has been eliminated. So you get a lot of people that just like basically, if you're at if in this case you're at the 13th position, you get a huge spirit bomb and you just get like rocketed into the top 5 basically. So it's not necessarily the worst position to be in.
Yeah.
All right, finally into the top 12 for this ranking. Number 12, Kwon Eun-bi from Ulim. I'm very nervous about this. I
could see her not making it.
Oh, like her not making it would be like Jonghyun from New West not making it, because everyone was kind of like, oh, he's the leader, and like, oh no, and like again, that really like, I feel like there would be a similar situation where if a Woolim trainee made it in but Eun-bi didn't, like it kind of be like how like Hwang Min-yeon felt so guilty for making it into 101 without it, like the leader, like the nation, they called him like the nation's leader, Jonghyun. They'd feel so guilty, so I feel like it'd be a similar situation. But yeah, I don't know at this point. And again, like I said, if she doesn't make it in, I'm flipping a fucking table because she deserves it so much.
Yeah, I think she should definitely make it.
Yeah, because she has dancing talent, she has singing ability. She's basically like the Ji-sung, where she's like the mom of everyone. So you kind of need that in like this group. Who was the mom in IOI if you were to sort of give that like role? Like,
no, I think I think it would be Na-young. Like she's the leader.
Yeah, Na-young.
She was the oldest.
Yeah, so you need somebody to take care of like the younger trainees in that sort of way. So
yeah, and she was the leader of Pledis stuff, so like she was used to it.
Yeah, and whenever whatever Ulim decides to do with all the trainees, like Eun-bi is going to be like the main attraction when it comes to their group. So that's a group I'm very excited for. Like even if like she like Eun-bi doesn't make it like to the final group, that means we're just gonna get an accelerated track for whatever group that Willem's gonna debut. So that's super exciting, definitely. Also, like before I forget, her stupid thing with like the orange.
Oh yeah, I don't know what's going on there. So confused.
I don't get it. It's so funny. Anyway, number 11, Honda Hitomi from AKB48, another person that I don't know if it's gonna make it.
I think she'll make it. She's had a pretty solid run. She's never really dropped out of it since she made it. She's always been near the cut line, but I think she'll keep that steady momentum going, and I think she deserves it.
Yeah, she deserves it. Again, just like, remember like how everyone was kind of like, oh, all the Japanese trainees, like they suck at dancing, they can't really sing that well. I feel like a lot of the Japanese trainees that ended up in top 12 here are just incredible singers. So like I love they blew that out right out, like they blew that preconceived notion like right away. The only thing is though, I believe somebody did the math, but I think she might not have been in top 12 if she didn't get the on-site vote benefit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's why I'm worried. Like,
yeah,
because finale there's no on-site voting. It's just all live voting. There's no benefit whatsoever. So like it's
yeah, there's a chance she doesn't make it, which would be really disappointing. But
we'll get to like our overall like thoughts or like on what we think will happen with the lineup at the end. Number 10, Shitao Miyu from AKB4. Again, another AKB48 member. Again, she did well, and like she was super. Like she was a huge highlight. I didn't get to mention her in Rumor that much, but oh my god, just again, you don't really think of the Japanese trainees of being capable, Japanese members of being capable of like sexy, like girl crush type concepts, but she thrives in this, and that's why I want her in this group. Or no, God, I'm thinking of freaking Marasesai. Sorry. Miyu did pretty good as well, but
yeah.
Like her most iconic thing though was like the hair pulling down, like that. Yeah. So she's another one I don't know, because I feel like 12 and 11 maybe you might scare enough people into voting for you a lot, but like 10, 9, 8 is sort of like, oh, we think you're good, we think you're safe, and you might not end up being like garnering a lot of votes. But with this season, with how volatile, like I'd say this season's way more volatile than season 2 even was. Like, would you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, we thought it was bad with because again with boy groups you have a lot of people that are just voting for based on looks, and granted, I mean the same thing carried over to here, but I was shocked at how volatile like top 12 was, because like maybe a bit of a spoiler, but no one person has been able to retain the number 1 seat throughout every elimination, which is just shocking, because last season you always had like Daewee or like Jihoon like at the top, and I mean again I don't know how it worked particularly for season 1, but I know like everyone was very stable. Like you always had like Somi and like Yoo-jung like always like competing like very close to the top. So again, it's just very weird as to why this just became more volatile. I don't know, maybe because with less votes or less people voting, it's just like subject to more like change, I guess.
Yeah.
Where was I? Number 9, HKT48's Yabuki Nako, and another person. If she doesn't make it, I'm gonna be mad.
No, like, Nako definitely needs to make it.
Like she needs to make this group, like no question about it. Number 8, NMB48's Shiroma Miru, her first time in the top 12, and oh my god, is it deserved? Finally, I'm still not sure. I'm still not sure if Miru will make it, because again, she's still like, I feel like that's still like an uncertain position. But I'm glad that Miru's peaking at the right time, where she's like getting so much attention with like her performance in all these songs. So I really hope she makes it. I really hope she makes it, because again, she's probably like, of the Japanese trainees, she might be like my favorite. She might be my favorite just because she's the successor to like the Yamamoto Sayaka throne. So I want her to do well. So
yeah.
Number 7, Jung Hwan Young from Starship. Again, somebody that dropped, who was number 1 at the last ranking and ended up at 7. But we kind of aired our sort of grievances with her being in the 1 spot, or her. So I mean, this kind of seems acceptable, and I think she's still gonna make the group just because she's tall. And I feel again that's a huge. I feel like that's a huge factor in as to why she's like appealing to the Korean crowd, so to speak. So she's safe. I think even though she's 7, I think she's safe. Number 6, AKB48's Takeuchi Miyu. I think she's actually no. I don't think she's safe anymore. Honestly, after watching
Who knows?
we'll cover that out. We'll cover the debut evaluation in the next episode. We'll pair it alongside the finale. But yeah, after what we saw in that, oh man, they are not doing.
I haven't even watched it yet.
Oh, they are not doing her any favors, dude. Like you're gonna be like cringing like at like the thought like when you see it. So yeah, I mean, she still deserves to be in this group, and I love how she's sort of playing up her sort of her connection to Daewoo. She's like, oh, I want to be like Daewoo and produce music for this group.
Yeah,
and which would be awesome because she's if you haven't watched any of like her like self compositions and covers and everything, she's excellent, and you need somebody like that in the group. I feel like where you had Daewoo and then you had Kim Jae-won in 101, you have people that are able to self-produce and make, or that are good enough to make music, because that'd be like, given the opportunity, I think I want to see her produce music like music for the final group in Korea. Like it'd be such an interesting take on it, I believe. And again, just like she went from being almost eliminated in the last, like she was like the last spot, she was like on the brink of getting eliminated, and she ends up being in the top 12. Again, she deserves being up here, and I don't know what the fuck happened for like
that she dropped all the way to
like
30th.
have you seen any good explanations for that? Because there were people that were like because again, she was pretty, maybe it's just because she was kind of like shy and soft spoken and not getting that much airtime.
They didn't really show her much in the last few.
But still, I feel like sort of the talent recognition, like I can understand her not dropping out of top 12, but for her to be almost eliminated when all these people that I felt like should have been eliminated way before her, like that still might be like the most shocking moment of the entire season so far. Because imagine her getting eliminated then and not making this final group. That'd be a travesty. Yeah. And I mean,
definitely. I would be so mad.
And it would be a travesty if she doesn't make this final group, honestly. So, and it seems like she has a lot of support in Korea, honestly. Like she has like banners and like the fan like prizes and everything. So I don't know if she's safe, but I'm very optimistic about like her chances if she does well. Number 5, we have Khan from Pledis. So she's a shoo-in at this point. Like I'd be shocked if she doesn't make it in. Like there would have to be like some huge like controversy or huge backlash. Like I feel like Khan's like the only one. Khan's probably the only one that I feel like is sort of like immune to the Wispel like sort of thing, because I feel like it's the younger trainees that sort of get a lot of the attention, honestly. Whereas Gon's the criticism of her is that they feel like she isn't as interesting, but I feel like it's which I could see. But I feel like it's just because she's a veteran at this point, so none of this is, because a lot of the drama of Produce 48 is like, oh shit, we don't know what to do, whereas Khan's literally she's probably seen everything at this point in her career, so nothing phases her. Like even when the trainers are like, you're garbage, she's like, yes. She's just like really humble about everything. So again, I want her in the group. I know some people don't, but it'd be weird to not have her in this final group. Number 4, Kang Kye-won from 8D Creative. Why is she so high still?
I don't know. What? She didn't deserve it.
I mean, technically she went down. She was like 3rd last time. She went down.
She went down 1.
Again, I feel like she's just popular for the Minami storyline and because she's the visual. And I mean, if she makes it, I mean, at this point I'm resigned to her making it, because if you're in top 3, like it take like a huge like a huge amount of volatility in rankings for you to drop that far, honestly. Yeah. Like, I mean, there's 100 people I'd probably replace her with in the final 12, but there's no chance she's not making it at this point. Number 3, WM Entertainment's Lee Chae-yeon, and I feel
getting her justice.
I feel so vindicated. Like before they announced the top 4, I was like, oh shit, Chan's eliminated. There's no way she's making the top 4. And then like I screamed at the top of my lungs. I was like, oh my god, when she actually made it into top 3. Like I don't care if she's not number 1. Like number 3, you're sitting pretty there. Like there's almost no way you don't make this. And again, I've been from day 1, like again with me and Jacob, and like you have been like beating the door for like down the door for like, you need to let this girl be in this group, because And when you think like how much rejection can one person take, where if you're in like superstar or like whatever, like, and then if you're in 16 and then not making this group again, it'd be like I was just resigned to her being this season's Kim Samuel. But if there's a chance she makes this group, I'm gonna be so happy because she's easily going to be the best dancer. Well, her and Unbi are gonna be really great dancers, so you're gonna get amazing choreography. And again, she's very good at singing too. She's multi-talented, so. Again, she's someone that's so deserving of being in the top 3, and I was so like this made the rankings for me, honestly, because I thought she was a goner.
Yeah, I was definitely a lot happier with the rankings this time around, other than Eugene dropping, or Eugene, but yeah, you could tell like I was saying the whole time, she just wasn't getting screen time. She wasn't. Interesting enough or to have it. I guess she was playing it too safe maybe, and so she was just not doing well. But the past few episodes she had a storyline. She got a lot of screen time,
definitely,
and it definitely it proves how much that helps.
And also, again, her showing her leadership skill, showing any element of that has been huge when it comes to produce rankings, because you almost always see people that when they get put in leadership positions toward the end, they make a huge jump in rankings, because once they see that, they really appreciate that in Korea.
Yeah.
Number 2, Miyazaki Miho.
Came out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. What?
Well, she was first the last episode, or episode 9 at the end.
She was first. She ended up being number 1 in at the end of episode 9. And I'm just like, whoa, where'd this come from? And at first I was just like, why? But I'm convinced. She's making this group, because her vocal performances in both this evaluation and the last one where she did The Truth Untold alongside Takeichi Miyu and Gyori. One of our biggest criticisms about 101 last year was yo, who's gonna do vocals? And
who's the vocals?
There's no shortage of vocalists in this top 12. There's too many even. It's amazing. And
yeah, they definitely don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, there's no worry about that whatsoever. And yeah, she deserves it. And she deserves it mostly on the part of she's tenured when it comes to the 48 system. She's been apparently, I was reading some stuff last night. She was competing with the original Kami 7, some of the original really popular members for getting number 1 in Sosenkyo. So, and it's only just so recent. Apparently, she sort of gained weight after puberty. So that's why she fell off in Korea. But I feel having all of that experience, being even being remotely connected to Kami 7 is a huge deal, because those are the iconic members of the AKB, all of 48 groups. So for her to just be even associated with that's a huge plus to this to this final 12. And I feel she'd bring such a good leadership and vocal role to this group, definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, she came out of nowhere, but I completely understand why she sort of picked. She started picking up steam.
I agree with her being in the group, definitely.
And number 1, the first time ever that the center for a Pick Me song has ever gotten the 1 seat. You have Sakura, and I'm surprised it took it took a Japanese member of Produce to actually take the 1 seat. That's as the center.
I mean, technically she had it in the first episode, but this is the first time someone during an elimination.
Yeah, and that's shocking considering I guess because the Yoo didn't just sort of got overshadowed by the popularity of people like Somi. And
Yoo Jung was literally third the entire show. It was just Somi and Sejong were always first and second.
I mean,
except for there was one point where Somi dropped to 4th, but then she got pushed back up.
Oh, okay,
but it was just Somi and Sejong were first and second.
That's understandable.
And Yoo Jung was always third.
Yeah, that's understandable, because it's hard to compete with literally Korea's little sister and freaking God Sejong. So
yeah, exactly.
And again, we talked about the backlash that Daewoo got, so that was understandable. And again, Jihoon got popular with the being Winky Boy and Cho Jung, that sort of thing. So he had a lot going for him. That's why he was always 1-2. Yeah, I'm fine with Sakura being number 1, and though
yeah,
the interesting sort of thing is there's two questions that I'm posing for you. One, how do you think Korea will react to be the top two being both Japanese? And number two, how will Korea react to like the majority of this top 12? There's 7 Japanese members in this group right now. How do you think the reaction will be?
I don't think there'll be a big difference. I think the people that are watching this show, it's not a big deal. Like I feel like the people that are actually watching and supporting the show want it to be diverse. Like they don't. It's not like they want an all Korean group. I don't even know if they can get an all Korean group anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Are there
they
more
could, but
that's what scares me though, because I kind of like,
there's literally only 12 Korean trainees. So
it'd have to be like the exact
they
12.
would literally, yeah, there's no way, but like, yeah, I think and this was like the one thing that made me really happy about this elimination was that after the mess that was episode 8,
there was only like
where
3
there
or
was
4.
Only 2. There was 2. It was just Sakura and Nako. And Hitomi.
Hitomi. So it was 3.
Yeah.
It was like 3 or 4.
Yeah, so there was 3.
Which was bullshit.
I'm looking at the list right now. Yeah, it was only 3. So I was glad that the voters kind of recognized that and propelled a lot of the Japanese trainees back up. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna like overcompensate and
I'm still scared.
Make the reverse happen.
I'm like, still scared of it, honestly, because you really don't know. Like this is the most unclear I've ever been going into a finale when it comes to like top 12. I thought I had it figured out.
Yeah,
but like you really don't know, because again, some people like freaking like Miho came out of nowhere, so you never know if somebody just like comes from like 20th to just like shoot up to number 1. I mean, so
I'd be fine if Haeyoon made it.
we'll get there. You're spoiling you're spoiling it, but like again, it's such a like unknown quantity, and I'm so afraid, because I guess the way people have been putting it is there's sort of people. There's Korean, like there's, in terms of like, I guess netizens or like fans, there's sort of Koreans that will only vote for Koreans. There's Koreans that are goddamn weebs and will only vote for Japanese. Which if I had voting power, that'd be me, because I'd probably just vote for the Japanese trainees, because I feel like they need love. And then there's just people who are sort of in between, whereas I feel like I'm just afraid that it swinging from one extreme to the other might just swing it back in the other extreme, and we just get like 2. Cause
I mean, it's possible, but like I said, like just counting, there's only 12 Korean trainees, and so like the fact there's no way it's like clear only Korean, but I mean there is a chance that
there's a chance we end up with 3 at most, and which would which I would not agree with. Like you need at least 5. Honestly, I would concede 5. 4 or 5 would be like. The minimum, if not like 6 even split would be like my ideal, because I can
6 would definitely
because like from Japanese and Korean I could easily make a top 12 of 6 and 6, and that would work perfectly. But again, it's out of our hands. We don't have any voting control, and I know there's like some rumors about like, I don't know, like freaking a bunch like Chinese like fans or something, or like somehow like people that weren't in Korea somehow got like a hold of like like people are mass buying like phone numbers or something like that, or like Korean like phone numbers or whatever. So who knows if that might don't underestimate the influence of China, like the Chinese like base and like the Japanese fans have on this finale or on the final voting, because apparently they seem to be a huge voting block. Maybe not in terms of like actually being able to vote, but in terms of influence or just sort of driving hype for whoever they've sort of like want to promote. So
yeah, again,
it's going to be a very interesting finale. So before we like wrap it up, we'll get to the eliminated trainees and the lone survivor at number 20. So it ended up being like the 4 candidates were Kim Na-young from Banana Culture, Murase Saya from NMB48, Kim Do-ah from FENT, and Park Hae-yoon from FNC. And Hae-yoon easily deserving of that spot.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm kind of sad that Murase Saya got eliminated, because she won me over. She won me over so much in rumor. But again, if you remember from her last the last eliminated. She would have been eliminated if it hadn't been
and she got the benefit.
Yeah, if she got the benefit. So it was only a matter, like, her voting block was only so big. So not receiving the benefit, it sort of hurt her in the end. But, oh man, again, she deserves to have some type of future in Korea. And I don't necessarily know her popularity in NMB48, so who knows if it's okay to, like, sort of pull her away. But man, I want her. Basically, I want
grab her up.
Oh no! Basically, I want all of Rumor to be an actual group. Honestly, like if none of them end up making it, I'd stand that group like hardcore. Like that'd be like it'd be like the G Idol for me. Basically, my only concern is I feel like Cube probably wouldn't want to play ball when it comes to like a JBJ or IOI or IBI type of situation, because I feel like they'd want, like, because Jun Soyeon was pretty popular in season 1, right?
Yeah, she was never top. Well, she might have broken top 11 at some point, but she was that, like, doing like really well and like guaranteed to make the top or the final episode, but was most likely never going to make the group.
Yeah, so
if you see, mostly because of her looks.
Oh, that's true. But so yeah, like if you see like I guess you can draw a comparison where like Soyeon, they took forever to like debut in a group, so that might be the future for Choan, where they won't. Well, who knows? Honestly, I really don't know if Cube would play ball in terms of if Choan doesn't make it. Would they be willing to let her do like a year or two of KVK or whatever it's going to be called?
Yeah, I could see it just because she's not gonna. Unless they somehow add her to G Idol,
if they add her to G Idol, that'd be like the biggest crisis, because I'm just like, yo, who's my bias? I love Soyeon. I love Yuki.
That actually is highly possible.
You think
they added Eunbin to CLC?
You're right.
She was like 15th or 16th or something.
Like I wouldn't mind it, but with where G Idol is right now, I feel like it'd sort of be like a Yeonjung situation with Wooju Sonyo, where it's just like they gave her 90% of the work. Well, I mean, good, because that's the thing though. How much I kind of feel like Choan would have more exposure or like and popularity than Jun Soyeon would be. So it'd be an interesting situation where the person that sort of you think would get crowned as the next Hyuna is getting out Hyuna to some degree, if that's a proper term. But again, we'll get to that though. She's not eliminated just yet, but I'm super. Choan's definitely the most interesting person in this whole list, honestly.
Yeah.
All right, full list of the eliminated. We have I'll go through the three people. So yeah, Kim Na-young. Again, I actually like Na-young. All the younger members of Rollin Rollin, again, they're kind of young, but I love the energy that they brought to the song.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, that's definitely going to be missed. Munase Sai, we talked about her. Kim Doa again, we're gonna miss her swag. I don't know. Have you heard of? Have you heard of FENT before? Or
no, I haven't. So
we really don't know what the future is for her, honestly. Yeah. Kirin-chan, Hoyunjin. And do we break it to Jacob, or do we let him find out?
I don't know.
Let us know in the comments. Someone
let us know.
Yeah, because
when you mention her name, you should like change her picture to be grayed out.
Oh, I should have thought of that again. But she has a future somewhere in Pledis, and I feel like everyone's just add her pristine. No,
that's why I said, I was like, Kyla's not coming back.
Yeah, Kyla's done.
Not happening anymore.
Kyla's like 100% done.
It's been like over a year, and we haven't heard anything. So just add Yoonjin.
But again, I feel like that's another situation where I feel like, oh my god, I feel like Hoyunjin might even like she won't surpass like Na-young and maybe like Pinky, but I Kilkyung, but I feel like she'd be she'd be instantly popular if she ended up joining Pristine.
Yeah, but I mean, most of Pristine was formed from Produce 101 contestants, and that's one of the reasons why they're one of the most popular branch groups.
And I think you
so it would fit.
Hoyunjin would she's another one that easily, if you just drag and drop her like into that group, she'd fit.
Yeah, she fits perfectly with the type of stuff they're doing.
Imagine her and Pristine V. Like, I know it's kind of defeat the purpose of it being 5 members, but oh my god. See, now I'm working myself up so much, but I don't know. Who knows if she actually gets added, because at this point it might be like too long for her to get added.
Yeah, they might be too established. But if Kyla is gone, they could fill her spot with her.
And going back to CLC, where CLC was around for years before they added...
Yeah, CLC was around for like 3 years, and no one knew who they were, so they added Eunbin and one other member.
And I mean, wasn't Daya in a similar situation where they... Or was it...
Well, no, Daya had just debuted before Produce
They didn't add any members?
They never... No, they were already in the group.
I forget who I'm thinking of.
Because... What happened was they signed up for the show before Daya debuted.
Yeah.
And then Daya debuted, but since they signed up and signed the contract, they had to be on the show.
Yeah.
Even though they had already debuted.
It just so happens that Chan everyone fell in love with her.
Yeah, popular.
So,
yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
RBW is not going. Oh, I'm so sad again.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're finally free of the Go On versus Joe Yuri freaking storyline. But
no, you know what's gonna happen? They can be in the KBK together because Yuri probably won't make it, and then we can continue it there.
Oh my god! I would know. If they position that group as I know it's biased maybe, but like if they position that group as like a Mamamoo where it's like all good vocalists, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, because again, like, I feel like IBI was just like, oh, we're all cute. JBJ is like, oh, we're all really good at like, I don't know, like dancing and like all this like sort of like edgy boy group concepts. If they did something where it's like a vocal concept prior,
KBK is like, if it's like Yuri, Chaewon, Haeyoon, and Goen, like
rip. I love JVJ
vocals.
I love JVJ, but they just get leapfrogged immediately just because like that's the one thing I just in general just like we kind of had an issue in terms of talent when it came to season 2, but there's no shortage of talent when it comes to this season.
No.
Like dancing, so many people. Like visuals, too many people. Like singing, like again, you could make an entire top 12 of just singers. Like you could. I don't think you could really have done that in season 2. So, yeah, I'd say like overall the pool was just way better. I'm sorry, boys, but like I don't know. I just have. I didn't think I'd have more of an attachment to this season than I did with season 1. But yeah, it's easily overtaken it as my favorite season so far. I know nothing's like season 2. I know nothing's gonna overtake season 1 for you, Nate. But I'm sure it's
never.
I'm sure
literally never.
I'm sure this probably leapfrogged season 2 easily for you.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. Next up is Rip Gotomoe Production Squad.
Nope. She gone.
Why?
I didn't think she would make it past this one, to be honest.
I was resigned. I was resigned to her not making it because she didn't really have she didn't have a leading role in anything ever since the first.
She got like no. Yeah, exactly. Like ever since the very beginning, she got like no camera time at all.
But she's definitely earned me as a fan. Like again, I have a lot of favorites when it comes to 48 group now, but when it comes to the next Sosenkyo, like I'm going to be that guy that buys 10 fucking albums and use all my votes for Gotomoe. Not because I think she'll ever make a top 12, but I want her to like be in the coupling songs constantly. And if she's on the roster for like if we see a concert in Akihabara and she's there, I'm gonna lose it, man, because I love Gotomoe so much. She grew so much in terms of my favorites, and I'm proud of her for making this far, honestly. With again, when you consider like she could have been an F and eliminated immediately just because everyone's like, oh, she can't sing, or because of like the sickness and everything. So I'm so proud of her immediately. Jung Gyuri from Stone Music Entertainment. Well, she has a future.
She can go back to Promise. And
I've definitely gained a lot of respect for her and appreciation for her, way more than I did before, because I really didn't care about From Is number 1. But now, and again, even though she didn't get that much good screen time, a lot of her was just she's definitely going to be one of my favorites in From Is now, because I love her vocals. I think I'm rooting for her basically all the time. I want to see her succeed, honestly, because I feel like she's just gotten a lot of unfair criticism, honestly.
Yeah.
Because they really were they were trying to hammer down like the fine, like over and over and over, and that's not even the worst voice crack in all of Produce, honestly. Like, it wasn't even that bad. So I mean, again, people are like, oh, it must have been worse than the live version, but she has a future, and she shouldn't feel like an outcast in From Is, even though they've gotten more popular. So she's just as deserving to be in that group as everyone else is.
Yeah.
Kim Si-hyun, again, the center of Rumor. Again, I feel bad, but I didn't think her chances of making it were slim, and she had to blow away everyone as the center, and she just fell short. Yeah. Again, she's another person that I'm definitely I want to see where she goes, because I've gained an appreciation for her.
Yeah.
The last Chinese member, Wang Yidon from Weha. I mean, has definitely got a debut group with like Yena and her and like the rest of them, so she has a future. But I liked her a lot. I liked her a lot, definitely. And I mean, she was at top 12 at one point, so she definitely had her fans. So.
Yeah, definitely.
And last but not least, this isn't in particular order, just like whatever order I wrote down in. Isian. Just when I started to like come around to Isian.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nope, she's gone.
Oh man, that's so rough. So to break it down by group, 1000%, despite finishing last in like second to last in the like the on-site voting in terms of group, 4 members were safe. To reach you, 3 members were safe. Whatchamacallit, I Am, 4 members were safe. Rollin Rollin, 3 members were safe. Rumor, 2. It's funny because Rumor's our favorite song, but they had like the most people eliminated. Basically, they had more than half of the group eliminated. The only safe people were Eunbi and Choan, and then See You Again had 1 person cut. So it's interesting. No group was spared of getting, even though they had like, even though Rollin Rollin had the benefit, none of them. It didn't spare them from elimination. So. Yeah, that's definitely an interesting tidbit. So, I mean, I'd say overall we're a lot happier with the results. I mean, again, bar on Yujin, you'd say you're a lot more like you enjoy these results a lot more, correct?
Yeah, I like. Yeah, definitely the fact that there's more Japanese trainees, definitely helped it, and Cheon finally getting
recognition.
Yeah, really the only thing that I was upset about was Eugene and Yuri dropping out of top 12. But since they're still in, like, there's still a chance. I don't think Yuri has a chance, but Eugene still has a chance.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy too, definitely. And again, I could see them sort of replacing maybe 1 or 2 Japanese trainees with Korean trainees, and that's sort of the final lineup. But otherwise, I'm expecting this lineup, or I want this lineup to be the one that debuts ultimately, because I feel like it's a perfect balance. So with that ends the evaluations. Like I said before, there was more after this. They did the debut songs, or they went over the finale songs, but we'll cover that when the finale comes, because we're just gonna forget it otherwise.
I haven't even watched it, so.
Yeah, you'll get to that. So in the comments, please leave us all your thoughts, comments, concerns. Do you agree with us enjoying this top 12? Do you want all top 12 to be Koreans? Do you think, do you agree with Haeun getting the 20th spot? Like anything having to do with this, or if you want to sort of educate us more on 48 group, if there was anything we missed, please let us know in the comments below. As for plans for finale, I wanted to go over this with you before. It's airing Friday. Or Friday here in the United States, which would, so it's like Thursday.
Yeah, Friday afternoon or whatever.
Yeah, so, or like Saturday or something like that. It's just like, it's going to air at like the ash crack of dawn for me, which is 7 a.m. I know that's, you're wide awake by then, so I don't know if I'm going to watch the finale. I'm going to try my best, maybe, because this might be one of the times that I just like fuck my data over and just try to watch the finale on the train.
Oh, yeah.
I might, because I feel like I'm not going to be able to like avoid the spoilers, and I kind of want to be like, I want to be there when the chaos happens, because I've joined the Produce 48 Discord, so, and I'm gonna post this episode in the 48 Discord. So hi, Produce 48 Discord, how you doing? And yeah, we'll see. We'll probably, I'm guessing, like, by this time next, or before this time next week, we'll definitely try to get the episode out for the finale, because we don't want to let it run too long, because we'll know basically. And I mean, like, the subs come out, we'll use like the fast but crappy subs, because there's no way PD48 subs gets it out before, like, within the week. So yeah, that's the plan for now. Again, if you have any alternative suggestions, please let us know. So yeah, I'd say that wraps it up. Any closing thoughts, Nate?
Vote for Eugene.
Oh, we're gonna be like that, huh? Well, I mean, yep. I do want to, like,
not that anyone listening to this can actually vote. But
oh, who knows? We might have some people that, like, actually care about what random people from Michigan and New Jersey and upstate New York have to say about Produce 48. So with that being said, let me use this opportunity to say, for the love of God, make sure Mewtwo gets in this group. Oh my God, if he doesn't, I swear, I'll be sad. I'll be a sad boy forever. So that wraps up this episode of ProduceCast. We'll see you again for the finale. As always, enjoy yourselves. Good night, and oyasumi.
Throbbingly,
do you have to do it for every show? Please, can Produce be the one show we're pure of?
Mary Cree is, like, tops charts every Christmas, like, every year.
So it's like it's like the Japanese "All I Want for Christmas Is You" by Mariah Carey.
Basically. This is, like, quintessential. But yeah, why they picked it over any of Boa's other Japanese songs, like.